Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. I decided to start a few minutes early and I'll just kind of talk to you as I'm getting set up. We actually got producer Sarah coming in for a cameo and dropping off the most important part of this whole thing. Sarah, say hi to everybody.
Hi everyone, hope y'all are doing great today.
She dropped off this delicious tea in this Max Afterburner coffee mug. Shameless plug, Max Afterburner coffee mug. Oh no, Sarah dropping off a coffee mug on purpose. Oh, it's like she's into marketing or something weird. But you can grab a coffee mug if that is something that interests you. If that's something that sounds fun, feel free to do that. But yeah, while we're here, yeah, XM Living, I'm the same way. Chris Morton, we've got a ton of new members. Caroline, West Virginia is in the house. I'm chewing some neuro gum right now, so I'm just going to chew that for a second, get the brain going, and then I'll spit it out. So I'm not talking to you guys while chewing gum the whole time, I promise. But this is kind of what I do before the live, so I want to just bring you in at the beginning, usually like 5-10 minutes before. I'll come here and I'll start prepping. What I'm doing right now behind the scenes is I'm pulling up Google Earth because I want to talk to you specifically about some new developments that we're seeing and some old ones. Oh, nice. I just got a higher level access to Google Earth. Cool. That sounds great. I wonder if that'll be, I just got Google Earth Pro. So hopefully they're cool with me sharing that with everybody. I don't see why they wouldn't be. Oh, cool. It just has like, I wonder if I could type in like, Iranian IRGC headquarters. Let's see here. That'd be pretty sweet. It lets us see that. Iranian IRGC headquarters. Come on, Google. Come on, Google. Just show us the goods. It's sitting there spinning and thinking. So while it's doing that, I'm going to pull up X. There's a couple different accounts on X that I'll usually go to get ready for the lives. OSINT Defender is a good one. So I'll probably do that. Let's see. OSINT source, open source Intel. Let's try that one. Nice. So there's some pretty new, interesting breaking developments, guys, right now with what's said to be Mossad targeting IRGC members in the streets. And so we knew this would start, right? And again, we don't need massive boots on the ground, likely, right? I won't always say 100%, but what we're seeing right now, what I'm hearing, again, just some rumors from some open source intelligence. Today's topic, good point. Today's topic is focused on A-10s and Apaches and the strikes they're doing right now. So that's kind of the big thing that we're going to cover, but we're also going to cover potential targeting of IRGC death squads that are in the streets roaming around are now being targeted. They're now being hunted by probably Mossad, CIA, some high-level bad dudes that are in that country right now. So I'll pull up some background on that from open source Intel. But yeah, almost done chewing this gum, I promise. Cool. Yeah, so I want to focus on though the AH-64, the A-10. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing right now. What's going on there? So let me pull up some Intel here for everybody. How's everybody doing though? How's the live squad doing? We haven't done a live at this time before, so it's might not be normal for the live squad, but we got Max AB producer here. We got Sarah in the house, obviously keeping everybody just focused on the topic. And then she's got her high-powered microwave weapon, also known as a keyboard, if there's any spammers in the chat. Annika says hello, awesome, welcome. Father of Chaos is here. D Stu, a lot of members here today, which is really awesome to see. So yeah, this is really good to have an update today because I haven't done a live in a little bit. So I feel like giving you guys a quick overview of what's going on will be huge. And then I really want to talk about the Mossad targeting IRGC in the streets of Tehran. So yeah. Yeah. That's one of the big things I'm interested in looking at. So while I'm kind of pulling that up, let's pop to X real quick. I'll do a screen share and we'll just cover some open source intel. I'll just kind of help spread as much truth as we possibly can. So we got, and if you guys are members, I will prioritize the members' comments. So definitely consider becoming a member if that's something that you're able to do. D Stu is in the house. Members come up as a bright or as a dark green, so I can see them and I can see the questions that kind of right up front. So yeah. Okay. Someone says it's buffering. I haven't heard from Max AB producer yet. So we are getting upgraded internet. So because of all the super thanks that we've gotten from you guys, we will be getting upgraded internet. So I'll go ahead and do a super chat goal. So the goal here will be upgraded internet for Max and Sarah, because the struggle is real. We actually might get Starlink as well. That might be something we end up doing. We'll do a 45-minute. All right, cool. She says, I'm good now. Cool. We got a live goal. So the live goal is for upgraded internet and to keep Sarah off the streets of Tehran. We don't want Sarah to have to be an Uber driver in Tehran right now. So there we go. All right, I'm going to spit out this gum. I've been chewing this neuro gum. I think I'm good. I don't want to be that guy talking to you guys with a big thing of gum in my mouth. So sorry. Hold, please. All right, there's the neuro gum. The neuro gum is gone. I got the tea rolling. Here we go. The IDF says the Israeli Air Force targeting a strategic Tehran facility at Malak Ashtar University used by Iran's defense ministry for nuclear weapons development, and it's already under Western sanctions. So if you guys have watched today's video, I kind of intertwined it in there. Oh, nice. We got Shoulder Labrum. Says, I was born in Iran and live in the U.S. I support what we're doing, but I don't want U.S. casualties. Help me understand. If we take an island with Marines, aren't we easy targets for missiles and drones hitting us nonstop? Well, the goal is the Marines won't ever the ideal goal is to not put the Marines in a position where they could be struck by drones or ballistic missiles. And I think that's why strategically the delay to get the Marines there, a couple weeks, that's actually a really good thing because we're preparing the battlefield and we're doing things like striking the coastline with 5,000-pound bombs, A-10s strafing these fast attack boats and all the different drone storage facilities. So ultimately, we're prepping the battlefield to avoid U.S. casualties. Because I agree, as soon as we start getting a massive amount of U.S. casualties, we've kind of lost strategically and we'll lose the heart and the will of the people. Special operations is huge, but this Marine unit that's going there, their whole goal isn't just roll in and take the island. They'll be very strategic. They're all about anti-mining operations in the Straits of Hormuz. They're not going to just sit there on their boat and wait. They're going to be doing a lot of amphibious operations, things that Iran doesn't even know exist from a warfare perspective is what these Marines are trained to do. So the goal is get them there, get them focused on crushing the fast attack craft. But one of the topics today is how the AH-64 is crushing the fast attack craft. The A-10 is crushing the fast attack craft. So they're just there. If you think about kind of starting big and then you get smaller. So right now the battlefield's being prepped and protected, or it will be in a more protective zone for them to operate in, if that makes sense. Shoulder Labrum. Does that make sense? More of a protected site for them to, if they do decide to take a beach, it'll be once air superiority of drones is fully established, because we have air superiority with fighter jets right now. And so you have to have air supremacy, which essentially means that nothing can operate in the air. So I would call it air superiority. And then air supremacy would mean we have zero drone attacks, zero ballistic missile threats, or at least 99.9% of it is taken out and not able to affect any of U.S. forces. But I think that's a great point. And if you watch today's video, when I released it, I talked about some of the strategic implications of why we're there. And the narrative from the legacy media, a lot of the legacy media is very focused on spinning this as a failure for the Trump administration already. And I can tell you, having worked on the plans, the operational plans, this isn't something that happens overnight. It would be nice if it was, but this is something that is going to take a couple months. And I know that scares people when they start hearing months. But I can't tell you the exact timetable that I saw in the actual specific classified plans. I worked on them for about 10 years, basically, with Iran, Straits of Taiwan, and North Korea. So those plans account for different waves of military forces in different phases. And so right now we've seen the air supremacy, or we've seen the air superiority phase. We'll now be moving into the air supremacy phase. But Iran's tough. You know, they've been planning for this, guys, for 40 years. They've been planning, and their whole goal, remember, is regime protection. So their goal wasn't to make their people rich and prosperous. Their goal was regime protection. And the way that they do that is they try to swoon a lot of leaders, right? They want to swoon world leaders. So they want to swoon world leaders with Pezeshkian, the foreign minister, to be like, hey guys, see, we're just like you. We're like a Western country. We have a foreign minister. See, really the foreign minister is a shill for the radical Ayatollah and the different mullahs. But lots of those mullahs have been targeted and taken out. I mean, I think 80 plus minimum. There's no official number on that. I just saw a senator, a specific senator who I like. He's a Democratic senator, came out and he said, yeah, it looks like they just killed 80 mullahs. And this guy's someone who's not going to BS you. So they're striking down that inner circle. But as you guys know, and Shoulder Labram being Iranian yourself, you know, you can probably understand how deep the claws are of that radical Islamic clerics, of all of them, of all the mullahs that they have in the actual society itself. And when we've done target review, which we'll do again here in a second. Oh, let me see if it pulled up the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps headquarters. Oh, it did. Oh, oh, wow. It did pull up all the different, whatever it has listed as. Whoa, that is crazy. Whoa. It actually brought up a whole bunch of hospitals as well. That is wild. What? Okay, I'm going to swap you guys over to what it pulled up because I don't want to be that guy who's like, whoa, that's crazy. And then you can't what I'm actually looking at. So let me swap. But man, that's pretty cool. I feel like Google lately, I'm a huge fan of Google. I use Google for a lot of my different things. I channel. Google Gemini has been amazing lately. So once I get a thumbs up from the producer, we'll move to that. And then she's keeping track of the super thanks questions. So, but I want to stick with this real quick from Shoulder Labram because yeah. Oh yeah, you sent another one. Shoulder Labram sent another super thanks. We can't stop their missiles drones now. They're hitting our bases and embassies and we have protection. The island doesn't have defenses. Well, correct. Okay, cool. Sarah says I'm good. Correct. But when it comes to Marines protecting themselves, high-powered microwave units, the Marines can be dispersed in, you know, they're not going to be just like, hey, here we are. We're the Marines. We're right here. Look at us. This is an amphibious assault force. So think special operations teams that aren't just like, hey, here we are. We're all on the island just sitting here waiting. Amphibious special operations like Marine Recon, Iran will never know where they're at. Literally, they'll be ghosts in the night and they'll be going in. They'll be taking down sensitive sites, intel relay sites. And again, they've got the Lucas drone themselves, and that's primarily with the Marines. So remember, we're talking about ghosts here. Marine Recon, they are some of the most badass special forces you have ever seen. They're actually better, and this is coming from a SEAL that I talked to. Marine Recon, he didn't say that they were better, but this is what I alluded. SEALs are never going to say anybody's better, obviously. But this is what I gathered from the conversation. He said that Marine Special Recon, Special Operations Marine Recon was better in the water and amphibious environments than any SEALs ever. SEALs are more like niche, high-value targets, very specific niche takedowns. SEALs are like surgeons with a gun. So if you want someone to go in, do a niche takedown, surgeons with a gun, cool. But if you want a big, huge, massive operation, surgeons with a gun, that's Delta Force, right? That's the Maduro raid. You're not just sending in a SEAL team for the Maduro raid. You're sending in Delta Force. When we're talking amphibious operations, basically crushing the IRGC along the coastline in the Straits of Hormuz, you're talking Marine Recon. Excuse me. You're talking about them all day long. Does that make sense, Shoulder Labram? And then don't sleep on the Lucas drone that the Marines have. They're going to be using that all day, all night, keeping the IRGC up. And then ultimately, dispersed units are not going to be in one little central point. They don't need to be on any of those islands. Honestly, that's not going to help them. Being in the Marines' fast attack craft, being on the different ships. The USS, I think it's the Buster or the Butler. I'll look it up. But they're actually sending, or Boxer, USS Boxer is being sent as well. So multiple Marine units. They don't need to be in one little island. And counter drone technology with the Marines is really, really dialed in. Okay, so here's what I typed into Google Earth. This is very interesting because it popped up with a lot of these different hospitals. So the hospitals popped up. So, interesting. Is there some bleed over from some of the targeting? I basically said, show me the IRGC headquarters in Tehran. I've located and saved several known facilities associated with the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps headquarters on your Google Earth map. Wow. Yeah. Google Earth is smart too. They're pulling data and information from places that we don't even know. Up multiple hospitals. These hospitals have all been associated with the IRGC, with their headquarters, likely. And then also art museum, technology centers, universities. They're all intertwined into the civilian population to make targeting of them very hard. But again, let's just go ahead and look and see some of their hospitals. So these are all associated with IRGC members. You guys see what they're doing now? Even Google, I'm telling you, Google's been crushing it lately. I'm really proud to use their products, and I'll be honest, I couldn't always say that, but YouTube and Google, they're on a whole new level, and I'm like, yeah, I'm very excited to feel like they have my back. I feel like YouTube has my back, and I wouldn't say that if I didn't actually feel that. But there's some behind the scenes things that YouTube's doing to help make sure the cancellation culture doesn't happen, and I think that's really cool to see. I hope that keeps up. I hope that's not just a thing. I believe in you, Google. Please keep that up. So again, if you look at what the IRGC is doing, I mean, that's a relatively major hospital right there. But again, they don't care. They're using human shields. And this actually led me to one of my the questions that I had today, and I answered it is why aren't there any uprisings right now? Oh yeah, producer's telling me to look at the super chat questions because again, we gotta, and she's doing that because it's keeping her from doing Uber Eats on the streets of Tehran. So that's why she's very excited about me looking at your guys' questions. And the super thanks would be great. If you guys can drop in a super thanks, you're able to do that. We just greatly appreciate it. We've got 4 out of 20 so far. We can do this. Internet for Max and Sarah, and keeping Sarah off the streets of Tehran. She's a little cute blonde. She wouldn't do well on the streets of Tehran. Trust me. Man, there's so many things going on. So the universities that they have there, a lot of them have been dedicated to nuclear weapons research. And that's what we just saw on OSINT Defender, which we'll go back to. But I just thought this was I said Gemini, and I just upgraded to Gemini Pro. And so I said, show me any locations in Tehran that are associated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. It pulled up all the hospitals, and it pulled up Sharif University of Technology, Tehran Museum of Contemporary Art, Basat Hospital, Zion Hospital. So you guys see what they're doing? Do you guys see what the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is doing? I hope you do, because yeah, they have some official headquarters, but their whole thing is guerrilla warfare and expanding their reach. They have one little IRGC office. Yeah. Look over here. Here. Let's see what it actually looks like. Yeah. This is our office, guys. Yeah. They're like, don't look at underneath the hospitals, all the infrastructure under the hospitals. This is what they have logged on Google Earth. This is our office right here. It's like one little window. Like there's like a falafel shop, and there's like little coffee shop, and then it's like an IRGC office. It's like one window. It's right next to the Leering Center. But interesting. There is a hospital there too. There's some sort of healthcare thing there too. So they couldn't even put their little one window office away from a hospital. Weird. Weird that there's a hospital there, IRGC. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Yeah, just like everything else that you have. But again, when I went up against insurgents in Afghanistan, they did their mindset was to keep as many kids around them as possible. So likely that's what the IRGC is doing as well. They've got right here, women's hospital. So women's hospital is associated with the IRGC. Ebasina Hospital associated with the IRGC. I mean, very obvious what they're doing, right? Very similar to what I saw in Afghanistan with the terrorist mindset. So yeah, Golistan Palace associated with the IRGC, Iman Hospital, Yas Hospital, all the hospitals associated with the IRGC. So it says right here, IRGC's command structure is decentralized across several bases and headquarters, with its most critical command centers located in and around Tehran. Yeah. Look at the IRGC administrative offices next to the coffee shop. I will say, so one of my best friends, probably my best friend, period, is Cameron. Iranian American family's incredible. His grandma, they all came from Iran after the revolution. They escaped through the Turkish mountains, and his grandma makes the best coffee I've probably ever had. Iranian coffee, like maybe it's like a little bit similar to like a Turkish coffee, delicious, and also their teas are delicious. So apparently IRGC is like, yeah, we'll just pretend that it's a coffee shop. I'm sure they won't know. I mean, come on, guys. An eye hospital associated with the IRGC, Reza Abbasi Museum associated with the IRGC, Iran University of Technology, and Google Gemini. This is coming from Google Gemini. So very interesting. All right, let me pop to the document that Sarah is talking about. Very, very telling, I'm sure. Hey, producer Sarah, can you go ahead and just send me a link to that document one more time, please? That would be great. You know me, I have ADD with my email inbox. So there you go, guys. I just couldn't not share this with you. I think it's very important for us to know what we're up against. But it's now being said that the IRGC themselves are being targeted by Mossad and other people. We'll just say that. Mossad and other people targeting these death teams. I wouldn't be surprised if the IRGC just starts showing up in body bags on the streets. Yeah. Read into that what you will, but I think there's some specific targeting of those teams now, which is going to be their worst nightmare. And this is going to continue for probably months. But their main ability to strike at Israel and to strike at the US is being decimated. And so now they're just going to start being picked off slowly in the streets. And then they're desperate, right? They're throwing out the rhetoric of, well, US, you need to do a ground invasion and invade us. That's what they want. But we're not going to play it. We're not going to play this their way. And that's what I see from this administration is that we're going to play it the smart way. And that means death teams, death squads going in and fighting fire with fire. Oh, IRGC, you're going to put your hospitals, you're going to put your headquarters underneath hospitals and schools and museums and universities. Okay, cool. Well, good luck, because you'll be tracked going to these different places. That's what I see happening. That's just me reading the writing on the wall. So ultimately, not going to be a good day for a lot of those folks. Let's see. Yeah, Max AB producer, go ahead and shoot me an email with more of those questions. That'd be great. All right, let me move back to the stream and say hi to everybody here. Oh man, we've got 9 of 20 super thanks already. We're not even halfway through the stream. You guys are killing it. Wow, really appreciate you guys. But that was a really good question from it was Shoulder, right? Yeah. Surprise Iran line. This is from Colin Wade, says, surprise Iran lied again. They said they could only range 2,000 kilometers, and last night they fired on Diego Garcia over 4,000 kilometers away. Yeah, exactly. So, and again, that shows the UK, the UK, and that comes after Pezeshkian's remarks of like, okay, now since the UK is getting more involved, we're going to attack the UK. But it's like, look, the IRGC already called the UK a terrorist organization. So the writing's on the wall. I know Pierce Starmer needs to make sure that he doesn't have death teams in his country, because there's a lot of people that they probably don't know who immigrated to their country, and they have had open border policies, weird things that have allowed their country to be infiltrated. So Pierce Starmer is probably like, let me get my arms around this whole potential death team terror squads that are in my country, and let me think through this first before we fully get involved. And likely that's what's happening. He got his arms around it, figured it out, and now he's going in to help the US a little bit, which will be great. Bring in the UK, have them help with the Straits of Hormuz. I think it's a good thing. But yeah, then they're going to get ballistic missile shot at Diego Garcia very far away. Yeah, and I'll pull up a map here on that too. So let's see if we can type that in. We'll go to Diego Garcia. But man, I just think it's very interesting seeing what's associated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Diego Garcia, British Indian Ocean. Let's see. Yeah. So that's how far they launched weapons. Let's just put that in perspective. So 4,000 kilometers is what one of our channel live streamers said. How far they launched, guys. Do you see how far? Like, that's a massive distance to launch to Diego Garcia. I mean, wow. So again, that's not even that far of a stretch to start launching towards the UK itself. So again, writing's on the wall as far as that goes. So there's Tehran, there's Diego Garcia. It might even be more than 4,000 kilometers. I mean, it looks like a little bit more. Yeah, someone map it out. Producer Sarah, map us. How far is it from? Oh yeah, okay. So someone might have been commenting from the southern coast of Tehran. Yeah, but how about Tehran to Diego Garcia? How many miles and how many kilometers is that? Let's check that out. That'll be good to see. Yep. So that was from Colin Wade. That was a really good addition. Really appreciate that. And then we got Annabelle Feinstein says, if you haven't heard of and signed up for DVids, you should. It's pre-cleared images, video, ready to use. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Thanks for chiming in, and thank you for the super thanks. Very kind. And Belle Feinstein has been a normal member to come be a part of the live, so thank you for that. The name looks familiar. Okay, Sarah, producer, says that's 2,500 miles. How about kilometers, Sarah? Because we have people in here from the UK and from Europe. So let's get them kilometers as well. But yeah, 2,500 miles. Does that show you guys kind of what, they're launching missiles 2,500 miles. It's not too big of a stretch to just keep extending that range bigger and bigger. And then at some point, you guys can have your own opinions. Again, I'm not here to tell you how to think. I'm just here to let us all have critical thinking discussions. Cool. Sarah chimed in 4,000 kilometers, just like what the user said who chimed in. And who was that? I want to give that user credit. That was Colin Wade. Colin Wade said 4,000 kilometers, so you nailed it. 2,500 miles, 4,000 kilometers. I'm not good at conversions. I'm not the conversions guy, but that gives you guys a little bit of an idea of what we're dealing with. And Iran's a formidable enemy, right? Brad in the bush says, yes, Ukraine doing a bang up job and helping big in this with drones and hunters. Cool. I haven't looked too much into what Ukraine is doing to help with the drones and that kind of thing, but that's great. If anybody knows drone warfare at this point, it's Ukraine. So there we go. Good to see Brad in the bush on here. We talked to Ann Belle Feinstein. And then John, yep, I hear your comment, man. Appreciate that. Brad in the bush, great to have you. Annika just put in a nice super thanks. That's so kind of you. Wow, you guys are just so kind. Thank you, Annika. That's very nice of you. You're keeping Sarah off the streets of Tehran. We don't need Sarah working in an ice cream shop in Tehran right now. That would be bad. So. Tuga658 also sent a great super thanks. Wow. And all the international people that are in here, giving their super thanks. It's just so kind. They are using musks to hide from drones and strip the uniforms to be seen as civilians. Yeah, that makes sense. The IRGC stripping down their uniforms, not in uniform. Of course, that's what they're going to do. But, that's why it's going to be a tough problem, tough situation. This is why the population itself is being told, hey, remain at home, remain safe right now. We're going to need you here soon. So that's kind of the big deal there. That's what I see there. Peter Ortiz hooking it up with the super thanks and just giving us a number one, dropping the mic. Thank you, my friend. That's very kind. Really appreciate that. Let's see. We got who else in the chat here? Wes Downer. I'm having trouble with the ladies this spring break, and I need someone to help me understand the Strait of Hormuz. How does this work? Nice. I see what you did there. That brings me back on topic a little bit, talking about the Strait of Hormuz. The Marines rolling in to take out the Strait of Hormuz as far as the drones and that kind of thing. They will be a very nice surgical scalpel for that area. Can they hide the uranium in hospitals or in different locations? Yeah, they can hide it a lot of different places. Now it's very sensitive, so there's different things they have to do. So it's not exactly easy to move. There's a lot of protections that are needed for humans to be around that stuff. So it's going to be, and it puts off a signature that can likely be sniffed with some of the drones that are in the region. They can sniff out uranium and radiation. So that's huge. Wow, the chat is absolutely blowing up. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video. I don't know if you can share the live stream and try to get friends in here, but let's do it. How many A-10s are there? I would say likely 4 squadrons. That'd be my guess. Probably could be more. I don't know how many total squadrons the U.S. has, but yeah, I would guess 4 squadrons minimum right now. All right, I'm still trying to find the document from the producer. I can't. Oh, actually, hold on. I know what I did wrong. I got you. She sent it. We're good. All right, there it is. She's all over it. All right, so I'll make sure I've got some. Oh, it says I need access. So I will request access right now. Access denied, need access. So gotta love it. Sometimes it blocks us, but hey, it's good. Keeps out the wrong people. So thank you, Max AB producer. Appreciate you. You're being kept off the streets of Tehran by the very kind, generous people here who are hooking you up with these super thanks. Really means a lot, everybody. All that money goes to Sarah, by the way. So definitely keep that going. Here's what I think if the IRGC does make a run for it. Lots of them are defecting. Lots of them are staying. It's their last stand. They're radicalized. So a lot of them are going to stay. But a lot of them are going to escape. This is probably the best escape route to get into Russia, right through here. So lots of probably little yachts. We'll just say little yachts probably in this area. Let's see what they have here. So the other side had tons of boats, right? Tons of boats in the Straits of Hormuz for civilian purposes only. Let's see how many boats we can find over here. Yeah, let's see if there's as many. I mean, there could be. I didn't prep this. Weird. There isn't 100 little fast attack boats in this port. Oh, I guess just the people on the southern coast are the ones that like being out on the water. Yeah, that's probably what's happening here. That was just a random swath of Earth. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. So let's see here. Let's see if southern coast. I mean, look at all that population too on the north, and it's beautiful. It's like green along that coast. That looks like a choice spot to live. But then let's get near the Straits of Hormuz. And let's see, are there any little boats? There's just another random little swath of ocean. Let's see what we got here. Interesting. Wonder if there'll be any boats lined up. Well, I don't know. This one looks like it's clear. Okay, fair enough. Don't see any little boats there. Interesting. All right. What about over here? Bigger boats. Oh, what is this? Oh, weird. Shipping containers. Lots of shipping containers. Wow. Interesting. So near the Straits of Hormuz, we got a ton of little shipping containers. Again, these are types of things that are going to need to be looked at. Absolutely looked at. Okay, so not as many little small boats as I expected us to find, but some boats here. Interesting. Whoa, what is this? Oh, that looks actually kind of cool. Looks like an interesting building, almost like a industrial. But yeah, so they've got, at this point, they've got some boats, not as many little fast boats as what we've seen in certain areas. Let's keep going. Let's see what we can find. Bigger boats in this port right here. Maybe the A-10s have already been here. The A-10s and the AH-64s have swooped through here. So they've just done a couple air shows along here. But yeah, this is, let's go to this little town and village, see what we can find. Okay, so we got a long pier. Interesting. This almost looks, what is this? Some sort of just a random pier. So we got some boats. Again, a lot of these boats, guys, they say they're for civilian use only, but Iran does the tactic that China does. I mean, they learn from China. They're kind of aspiring to be what China is, and that is dual use. So a lot of their boats have to be able to be outfitted with anti-ship missiles and things like that. So Just throwing that out there. That is something. And then again, 810s, this kind of leads us to the topic of the day. Finally, what are we like 35 minutes in? I'm finally like, okay, now I can talk about the topic of the day. You guys know me. I got a little bit of ADD when it comes to when I get on a streak here. Again, popping into the chat, we got John, Sandra, Lau Beck, John Lamo, John. Oh, I already said that. John Lamo's blowing up the chat. Marines are the first in, last out. Mad respect. Cool. Looks like Sarah's kind of getting an attack with spam. I'm just going to ask everybody, please don't spam the chat. She's all, Sarah, let me know if you need another moderator and we'll grab a member like D-Stew and make him a moderator. D-Stew's been really good at helping with the chat. So just let me know. I'll leave it up to producer Sarah. She's in charge. So if she needs backup, we'll call in the backup, which will likely be D-Stew at this point. He's done a really good job moderating in the past. Dates. Not sure what that means. Oh, D-Stew. Okay, she wants D-Stew. All right, D-Stew. We're bringing you in, my friend. There's a lot of... all right, we're going to make you a standard moderator. All right, cool. D-Stew, you're now a standard moderator. You're backing up Sarah, so please just listen to whatever she needs. But it looks like we're getting a ton of spam attacks today. Weird, huh? As soon as I show what Google Gemini is showing as far as the IRGC having all of their hospitals, museums, and art museums associated with their headquarters, all of a sudden we get spammers. Weird, huh? Yeah, we didn't see that one coming. Man, you guys are awesome today. We've got almost 3,000 people in the chat today too, which is really special. Auto caption has been transcribing Strait of Hormuz as Strait of Hormuz. Oh, okay, Wes, I got you, man. I got you. That's funny. Appreciate that. Wes is an OG, original gangster in the chat. Mark Kosko is doing great. Awesome. Top Gun PR is here. Great to have Top Gun PR in the house. Brad in the bush is doing his thing. Absolutely, my friend. Glad to have you here. Steve, the weatherman, Elise, Iron Maiden. We got a lot of great people in the chat, but we've got a lot of spammers in the chat as well. Peter Ortiz with that $20 super thanks. Keeping Sarah off the streets of Hormuz. Keeping Sarah off the streets of Hormuz. There's got to be a street somewhere in Tehran named Hormuz. So yeah, we're all keeping Sarah off the streets of Hormuz. So please keep Sarah off the streets of Hormuz. I would appreciate it. She's a cute little blonde. We can't have her on the streets of Hormuz. All right. So when it comes to what the Marines, the strategic targeting guys with the AH-64 Apaches, so we know that the AH-64 Apaches likely right now operating off the coast of Qatar, striking down those drones, which is very impressive, seeing them do their work. Ideally, they're going to have a fleet of an airborne. And then if you team up with Bahrain, Qatar's there to make it happen. And then you basically have a little shield for the drones. And as you can see, those drones are coming in at like 20 feet above the water, flying incredibly low. Then they fly a profile where they pop up and then they go in and strike. So the AH-64, you got to be very careful too. Keep your eye on the terrain. Keep your eye on the water. That's why there's two people in that thing. You have someone focused on gunning, someone focused on terrain avoidance, and that's massive. So love that platform. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I actually looked at going back to fly the AH-64 like 6 months ago. Now I'm kind of kicking myself. Like I really wish I would have looked into that more. Hey, Max AB producer, can you put that on the list of things for me to look at? Can I still will they accept an Air Force Lieutenant Colonel reservist to go into the Army and become an AH-64 helicopter pilot? Can you please look into that for me? I would do that in a heartbeat. That sounds like so much fun. Okay, but let me know if you guys think I should do that. Is that so? Okay, here's a question for you guys. I just want to take a poll real quick. Would you be okay without me doing YouTube videos for a while? Okay. Okay, I'll write it down. Don't worry. You keep focusing. There's so many people in the chat. We got 3,000 people here. The moderator's busy. Honestly, Sarah, if I say something to write down or whatever and you're busy, focus on keeping the chat going with D-Stew. Just focus on that. You don't have to always do what I say. Even though I might sound like I always know what I'm talking about. It's just because I like to sound cool on the radio. Big pick. And let me know if you need another moderator. We'll throw in another moderator. D-Stew, if you can just let me know that you're moderating so I can know that Sarah's got backup, that'd be great. But we might bring in someone else. I know Captain Shriver has been a moderator before. There's been other people. So we'll bring in someone else if we need them. Okay. So would you be okay? Annika, thank you. I appreciate your opinion that you don't want me to stop doing these videos. If I stop doing YouTube for a while, I would come back YouTube for now to try to become an Apache pilot. I mean, I would do my best. I would make it. That's just I would make it. I had no doubts that I would make it. I'm not going to put try. If they let me, they might not let me. I'm too old. I mean, that's probably the big thing. I'm just like this old wrinkled face lieutenant colonel. And they're like, who are you? The Army's like, yeah, no, we've got like 20-year-olds that are like way better shape than you, way better looking, better hair. We don't need you as an Apache pilot, an Apache helicopter pilot. I would love that. I mean, I am in the reserves. I could go over there now. Let's see. I would probably stop for like 6 months. So let's see here. There we go. Okay. I want to know if you guys would be okay with that. There we go. It is up and running. All right. Forbidden is here, 747, shoulder labrum. Cool. Captain Jack says, go man, hell yes. I did look it up 6 months ago, and they basically said an Air Force lieutenant colonel, you'd have to surrender your lieutenant colonel rank, which I would, and I'd have to become a warrant officer. So, damn, I might actually look into that. I'm okay with surrendering my rank. I've been super grateful to be a lieutenant colonel and being a lieutenant colonel right now in the reserves is amazing. I love it. I get to lead people, mentor people. But I would give that up to become a warrant officer. It said basically I'd have to become like a warrant officer 3, I think. So I might look into it. Damn, that sounds really fun. Okay, anyway, back to the map. You guys can answer on that what you think. I want your honest opinion. The YouTube channel would die off for a while, but I believe in you guys. You guys would help me come back. I believe in you guys. So anyway, Straits of Hormuz being targeted with GBU-72s, 5,000-pound bombs. Let's just go to a random spot. I like to play this game, the random spot game of what could have been hit with the GBU-72. So let's just talk. Okay, here's a town, little town, on the water, but basically like just total desert town. Oh, look, a government office. Oh, I feel like we might have seen this before, but it might be another one with their government office. Oh, yeah, we happen to have a government office. Oh, they're like, whoops, we accidentally told them where we're launching underwater unmanned vehicles from. So let's see what we got here. Now, this is enhanced Google now, so I can bring you guys in. But again, all these little boats, they all look the same. They're all uniformly, made. And oddly enough, I don't see any nets for fishing. No fishing nets whatsoever. And I could be missing them, but like literally 0 fishing nets. And then all these little boats. And then, oh yeah, government office. Yeah, little government office right there. Yeah, good luck trying to convince us that's an actual government office. I mean, that's insane. All right, I am going to pop to the map, to the member questions for Sarah. We can't stop their missiles, drones. We're hitting their bases and embassies. We have protection. The island doesn't have defenses. I covered that. Why not implement Epirus Leonidas drone defense? Completely agree. And also drones that have Epirus style systems on them, like microwave style drones, anti-drone technology with microwaves. That'd be huge. DVids. Okay, I'll look into that. Pre-cleared images and video. Musks. To hide from they're using Musk's masks. So maybe that's masks to hide from the drones and stripping their uniform to be seen as civilians. Yeah, we saw that in Afghanistan. They blended it in with the civilian population, but there's ways to find them, but it does make it tricky. What's the difference between a super chat and a super sticker? I think with a super chat, you can put a question in, and then with a super sticker, it's just like, hey, you rock, like dropping the mic. So if you want to do a super chat, we'll add it here. I'll answer the questions as best I can. And then the sticker is more like a, hey, just want to say what's up, drop the mic type thing. DVIDS is Defense Visual Information Delivery Service for U.S. military use. The acronym. Thank you for that acronym. Appreciate that. Why do we put up with Qatar splitting the fence and largely funding Al Jazeera, who spreads falsehoods and hate? Well, I mean, I get it. I think a lot of it is personal. So like the rich families in Qatar have ties to Al Jazeera, and they're just trying to get clicks at this point. They want to be a successful news organization. And, you know, think about it, in the Middle East, they're kind of like the CNN of the Middle East. So does that help answer that question? Again, I would go on CNN. I would gladly go on CNN. They probably won't touch me with a 10-foot pole because I would just sit there and spout truths, but I would gladly go on CNN and tell them what I'm seeing, and I'd listen to what they're seeing. Like, what are you guys seeing? Where are you getting your information from? But they probably don't want to have someone like me on CNN, which is unfortunate, because I would totally go on and do that for sure. People will need weapons to get rid of the regime that they know the targets and the lay of the land. Combined with drones, what do you think is better than sending troops to unfamiliar terrain? Well, I think you nailed it on the head. I think we got to get weapons in the hands of these people that want to be free. That's the biggest thing. So how do we do that? Well, we target these teams of IRGC members. There's ways to find out who they are. You target them with whatever means that is continuously, and you don't have massive boots on the ground, but you have special ways of targeting those IRGC members while you're simultaneously arming the free people of Iran. And there's going to be some IRGC members that are going to slip in and pretend that, oh, we're the free people of Iran too, right? Because they're radicalized. They've probably gotten a golden palace with a golden crapper. They see the writing on the wall. And so those people will try to infiltrate the free people of Iran. That's what I'm calling. I don't know if you guys have a better name. If someone from Iran is in here, I'm just calling the actual innocent people there that want freedom, the free people of Iran. FPII, free people, or FPOI. I don't know. Is that a good acronym? The free people of Iran. Those are the people that will be armed eventually, but you got to do it smartly because those can be infiltrated as well, right? Would it be possible to video the process of being an Apache pilot? I bet it would. I mean, maybe that's a deal I would make with the Army. Like, you know, hey, like, let me come in being an Apache pilot, and I'll stream, you know, Apache pilot footage, show me on my everyday life flying the Apache. The only thing is that's like a 6-month spin-up process. So again, I ask you guys that. I'm also very aware that it might not be the best investment for the Army. They might be like, oh, this guy's just doing it for YouTube. And I get that. They could think that. Obviously, I'd be doing it to go contribute. So I like it how the producer has a section on the document. It says, don't say these things. Those are like internal notes, like things that she'll tell me, like what she's noticing in the chat or whatever. But there's been times where I just read it, like Ron Burgundy. So she put it in caps now, says, don't say these things. These are just like internal notes for us to like remember of like topics or whatever, just notes for us to cover. But I think it's funny. She put it in all caps. She's sitting there. She's like, this guy's like Ron Burgundy. He's literally going to read everything unless I put like, stop. Like, it's like Forrest Gump where they all have to come out and be like, stop, after he runs the football all the way down the field. Any Forrest Gump fans? If you know, you know. So IFP, Iran's free people. I like that. The IFP, Iran's free people. IFP. Let's work on it. But I think that's something for us to work on. Wow. 74% said they'd support me in the Tehran and going into being an Apache pilot. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to start another poll of like what we should do for tomorrow's video. Yeah, I really don't know at this point, but we'll do some digging around. I want to pop you guys over to the X account for CENTCOM. Yeah, for CENTCOM, because that might give us some things to think about for tomorrow. I think that'd be good for us to know exactly what's going on with CENTCOM. So let's do that. Pop over to CENTCOM. I like a lot of the things they cover are things that I really enjoy covering. Let's see. Oh, let me bring you guys with me. Sorry, I don't want to leave you guys stranded. 15-minute timer. Okay, cool. We hit our super chat goal. What? I was just doing my thing and you guys hit it. Wow. And then someone gifted 5 memberships. Dan Starr gifted 5 memberships to people. Holy smokes, you guys are amazing. Dan Starr joined the channel and then he gifted 5 memberships. That's amazing, dude. I'm Ron Burgundy. What could I say? I'm Dan Starr. Yeah, if you gift memberships, I'm basically going to say your name like Ron Burgundy. I'm Dan Starr, 1992. Stay classy, Max Afterburner crew. Here's 5 memberships. That's just like the ultimate G move. Thank you, my friend. Goal achieved. Upgrade the internet. Sarah, we got to get on that. I think we should probably get Starlink. But yeah, we got to look into upgrading the internet. You guys achieved our super thanks goal. Looks like Sarah will be kept off of the streets of Tehran. She does not have to drive Uber Eats tonight. She's a cute little blonde. She would not do well. I see something in the chat. George Summer says, waste of time. Yeah, you sound like every ex-girlfriend I've ever had. That's their exact quote about me. And now we've got George Summer. I don't know. I'm just teasing, okay? I'm just having a little fun. Everybody just calm down. But yeah, that's an exact quote from every ex-girlfriend I've ever had. So I think some of the ex-girlfriends just change their name. They pretend to be other people, and then they just make the comments they always wanted to make to my face. Some of them did make to my face. So, that's how it goes. Can't win them all. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share CentCom, and then I'll wait for the thumbs up from Sarah. Ooh, interesting. An aircraft carrier flight deck covers approximately 4.5 acres. It's like landing on a moving postage stamp. The crew on the USS Abraham Lincoln is launching day and night, recovering jets. So maybe we do something carrier related. Let's see. I'll let you guys kind of watch that video. Let me make sure. Oh, she says I'm not there. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Screen is black. Okay. I will make sure before I go on. Let's see. Max AB is legit and a total badass. Wizard man. Yes. You're countering all those quotes from my crazy ex-girlfriends. Thank you, my friend. Shameless plug. If you guys want a Max Afterburner coffee mug, Max AB producer, can you go ahead and send the link to our merch? We've also got new merch. I don't know. No pressure. If that's something that you think you want. Okay, good now. Now I'm going to try to re-share the screen to US Central Command, and I'll wait. I'll sit here and wait for everybody before I go on. D-Stu is a moderator. He's helping out. D-Stu, thank you for stepping in to back up Sarah. Things got crazy. Over 3,000 people in the chat. Things are going to get wild. Bubby P says, I'm hanging on. I'm high, but breathing. Dude. Hey, whatever you're doing keeps you, living your best life. That's fine. I just want, be a productive member of society, please. That's all I ask. Be a good person. Be a good dad, husband. That'd be amazing. Okay. Producer Sarah says we're good. We got this new updated footage from Admiral Cooper. Let's move
against our primary objectives and our pilot.
Okay. Ooh, that looks like a B1. Oh, they put a B1 taken off. So maybe we do a B1 video. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to start the poll. So just kind of what we're seeing here. Start a poll. What video do you want to see tomorrow? Dang, Peter Ortiz, hit it up. From one vet to another, you were crushing it. I was a member of the Brownwater Navy, GMG1 on PBRs and Swifties 68 to 70. Peter, thank you so much, man. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you for being who you are. I don't say thank you for your service to other veterans because it makes me feel weird. I say thank you for who you are because we all kind of have a little bit of a similar edge to us when you're a veteran or active duty. So thank you for who you are, my friend. And thank you for the super thanks for keeping a cute little blonde off the streets of Tehran. Okay. What video do you want to see tomorrow? So it looks like B1, probably striking missile production facilities. It was what it looks like to me. Missile production facilities. Oh, I can't type facilities. It won't let me. B1 striking missile production. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he put that's a great thing. Keep talking about that 5,000-pound bomb. I mean, that is, I covered that already, but it's so worth CENTCOM putting this out again because that's such a cool bomb. Let me see. If I play his audio, do you guys hear his audio? Maybe we'll just kind of review a little bit. I'm just curious. I just want to know from Max AB producer or anyone else who can get there first. Can you hear his audio?
I want to recognize our air defenders
well,
mounting a coordinated defense against Iran's attacks. We have built the most extensive air defense umbrella in the
Let me know if you
world
guys can
over
hear
the
it
Middle East
well.
right now. This is thanks to years of investment alongside our allies and partners to build a
Okay.
robust and
Can you
integrated
hear his
air
audio
and missile
well?
defense
Let's listen to it for a little bit. I'll
For
stop
more than a
talking for second.
decade, books have been written about the concept
I'm
of
gonna
the Middle
rewind it.
recognize our air defenders mounting a coordinated defense against Iran's attacks. We have built the most extensive air defense umbrella in the world over the Middle East right now. This is thanks to years of investment alongside our allies and partners to build a robust and integrated air and missile defense architecture. For more than a decade, books have been written about the concept of the Middle East air defense.
Middle East air defense. So what he's getting at is, what's striking down and what's shooting down the ballistic missiles, like what's shooting down the ballistic missiles that were launched at Diego Garcia. Well, got to have missile defenses and naval vessels there. Amazing. So actually, I want to look that up real quick. When will the third carrier arrive in the Middle East? Because I would love to do a video on that. Let's see. Reports from the 2021 additional naval forces, amphibious ready groups are obviously on their way there. Early reports indicate the USS George Bush is moving to the region, but no one's saying when they're going to arrive. Some expected within days to early next week. These deployments, which include the Boxer, are intended to increase regional capacity amid ongoing conflicts. Excuse me. Also, the third carrier being there means striking down and creating more of a ballistic missile net, which Admiral Cooper is talking about.
Today, it's alive and well. Our Gulf partners, in particular, have defended against thousands of Iranian drone attacks, a clear demonstration of the strength of our partnerships as we work shoulder to shoulder. We also remain zeroed in on dismantling Iran's decades-old threat to the free flow of commerce throughout the Strait of Hormuz. For example, earlier this week, we dropped multiple 5,000-pound bombs on an underground facility located along Iran's coastline. The Iranian regime used the hardened underground facility to discreetly store anti-ship cruise missiles, mobile missile launchers, and other equipment.
Yep, we talked about that, right? So that's their bread and butter right now, is any type of underground facilities
that presented a dangerous risk to international shipping. We not only took out the facility, but also destroyed intelligence support sites and missile radar relays that were used to monitor ship movements. Iran's ability to threaten freedom of navigation in and around the Strait of Hormuz is degraded as a result.
Sandra, I gotta bring that up. That's pretty funny. Sandra says, coming from a woman, exit was at one point. I think that was like early mid 20s for me. Definitely wasn't perfect, but at some point you got to heal. You got to get over the different things that have happened to you. Not, basically dwell on. There's a dude I know that was like complaining about an ex coming from a third party. My friend was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like really hard. When was that?" He was expecting it to be like last week, and he's like, "Oh, that was 10 years ago." So again, don't be that person. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate that. Welcome to Max's Dr. Phil episode. Max is now Dr. Phil. Everybody just sighed. We just lost like 10,000 people in the chat. Everyone's like, dude, we don't want to hear about your relationship advice. But hey, I'm just saying, got pretty much the hottest producer that exists in the entire world with Sarah. So not trying to brag or anything, but having a girlfriend that's your producer and is also smoking hot and cool, it's hard to come by. So Sarah, I'm very grateful for you.
And we will not stop pursuing these targets. At the beginning of this campaign, I sent a letter to the more than 50,000 American servicemen and women supporting Operation Epic Fury.
Okay, he sent it to the men and women supporting Operation Epic Fury, telling them like a lot of amazing principles, which is super cool. That stop sharing. Okay, can you guys see me now? Yeah, as soon as I start to try to become Dr. Phil, it just goes black. Can you guys see me now? My viewership would 5x if there was a Sarah cam. Oh, a Sarah cam. That would be awesome. Have the little producer cam. Yes. Jeffrey Ross just said awkward. I know. Tell me about it. Chuck Norris never buffered. The buffer buffered for Chuck Norris. So the buffer Chuck Norris. That would be a good one there. Yeah, the buffer was constantly Chuck Norrising while I was trying to do a live stream. Max AB producer in the house. Yeah, someone said taking a strange turn. Yeah, I know. Well, guys, we hit an hour. A lot of different questions here. Brad in the bush. Japan was the only one to answer the call. Yeah, potentially. I know Japan was asked to come in. Let's see. I'm looking at the member questions. Looks like we covered everybody's questions. We hit the super chat goal. You guys are amazing. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Absolutely. Leon Aharati, Annika, great to see you here. Missy, something, Joe, Hercules, you guys are incredible. Seriously, greatly appreciate everybody here. I'm going to be doing lives more often, maybe every day. I just really enjoy it. They don't always have to be on Iran. Oh, let's see what the poll said. 44% of people want B-52 striking IRGC headquarters. Cool. And then I could talk about the USS Boxer coming into the fight, and we'll save the B-1 for another time. Cool. So be expecting that. The B-52, that'll be my plan unless something wild happens in the morning. Really appreciate you all being here. D-Stu, thanks for stepping up and being a moderator. Sarah, thank you so much for being a great moderator. You guys hit the super chat goal, so you kept her off the streets of Tehran. She doesn't have to work in an ice cream shop in Tehran tonight or in an IRGC headquarters. We could see that those are all next to hospitals and museums. So thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you being here. Red Star says love from Iran. Hey, man, thanks. Or you know, ma'am or sir, thank you so much. Keep your head down. Again, don't listen to the left-wing media in the U.S. saying, well, there's no big uprising, so there's nothing going on in Tehran. Keep your head down and stay down and listen to whatever sources might be reaching you. But the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, General Admiral Cooper, who we just looked at, and President Trump, those are the people that you need to wait for them to give the green light, and or other sources that they're using to do that. Also, Reza Pahlavi, be on the lookout for statements from them, but don't look at the mainstream corporate media telling you to go out into the streets when it's not time yet. We don't want you guys getting hurt. We don't want you all getting killed. The Iran's free people, the IFP, free people of Iran, I think IFP, Iran's free people, the IFP. Stay safe. We really, God bless. You're amazing. And God willing, you'll have your freedom here soon. It's not going to be easy. We all know that. And it's not going to be overnight. So thanks, guys. Appreciate everybody. All the members. If you're not a member, consider becoming a member. I would greatly appreciate it. Brad in the bush, ST, Ida, Jeremiah, D-Stu, have a great day. You as well. God bless our troops. Well said, my friend. Thank you for that. Thank you for everyone being here and supporting the U.S. military. That's huge. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next live. See you on tomorrow's video. Have a great one. Oh, did we just get, yeah, Dan Starr. Thanks for gifting those 5 memberships. We're approaching 300 members. I mean, amazing. And again, we got a whole new studio being built. We'll be doing members only stuff, but we're in that process right now. So consider becoming a member. I'd really appreciate it. Max AB producer, go ahead and throw a link in the description for the merch and for the shameless plug of the coffee cups. This is the old one. We've got the new logo. We're actually building a sign right now with my cousin. He builds signs. The new logo will be on there. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. God bless. And this is Max Afterburner signing off. Chuck Norris.